Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160, ready to deliver radio superbity to you. I can tell you right now, Theodore Roosevelt, unlike what Glenn Beck will have you believe, was without question one of the top 10 Americans to ever live in this country. Heck, you could argue maybe he's top 4. He's made Mount Rushmore. And I have been reading Theodore Roosevelt, CEO by Alan Axelrod. No, that is not David Axelrod, the jackwagon from Chicago that's helping Barack Obama's campaign. Once again, folks, it is amazing to me on a daily basis the volume of news and things that occur. I am 48 years old. On August 6th, I will be 49 years old. And I come from the time period of we had 5, 9, 12, and 19 locally. We had a Kentucky Post for the evening paper and the Enquirer in the morning paper. And that was your news. That was your news. And I remember I started paying attention to the news when I was only 19 years old, a freshman in law school. And I remember staying up and watching Nightline after the late news, which was like the only show like that. Now, look at the volume of news from the internet, from cable, radio. I mean, on and on and on. Of course, there was radio, too, back then. But it's amazing to me. There wasn't talk radio. I mean, that was kind of created by Rush from the standpoint of politics. But it is just amazing. So we have lots to cover today, and we will cover it well. We will cover it with inspiration, entertaining. I made the news. I was on 5, 9, 12, and I'm assuming I'm in the Enquirer today because they called me on a case that I filed, which we're going to cover. If you remember, back in August 20th of 2011, a year ago, there was a shooting of a 16-year-old African-American boy down at Fountain Square by a police officer. And it was all that he had a gun. And then, of course, there was Fifth Third security footage that covered that. And with all due respect, it is my opinion, based upon my review of the information that is available to me, that Officer Cyranek executed Devon Mullins. He did not need to kill Devon Mullins. And it's going to be a hot topic today. It'll be a hot topic tomorrow. But I am proud to represent the Mullins family. And let me just give you a little tip about the legal business. If someone, and this is politics too, does Eric Holder want to turn over the subpoenaed documents? No. Now, common sense is common sense. Logic is logic. If something is good for you, let's say you have a dispute with somebody and you have information which bolsters your position, aren't you anxious to show that to the other side? Well, in this case, since August of 2011, let's go through it now. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, nearly 10 months, the Cincinnati Police Department has refused to turn over their investigative report. The officers' statements to their supervisors, so forth and so on. And all I'm saying, and by the way, we've been asking for it since that time. Now, if the Cincinnati police investigation exonerated old Oscar Cyranek, why wouldn't they want to turn that over to the lawyer that's going to sue their ass? You know? Makes sense, doesn't it? I know many of you, and I call them as I see them. I am pro police officer. They have a terrible job. I mean, they have a great job, but they got to put up with a lot of crap. They got to deal with bureaucracy. The city police officers got to put their lives on the line. They have to put up with reports. They don't get paid enough. Family. Police officer's a tough job. And I have police officer clients, and I got police officer friends. Well, that doesn't mean, and I crack up. There are some people that are so, It's like Republicans, like Sean Hannity, he doesn't care what a Republican says, he's for the Republican. And there are people, they don't care. They're called yellow dog Democrats. They don't care what a Democrat says, they're for the Democrat. I can't be that way, folks. I'm too independent thinking. I can sit there and say, that officer did the right thing, that officer did the wrong thing. You know? Now, you ask the head of the FOP in Cincinnati, a police officer could never do anything wrong. It's one of the reasons why I like Stryker. Tom Stryker, the former chief of police of the city of Cincinnati, was always willing to say, hey, we screwed up on this one. So we're going to cover that. And we're going to cover some of the political news, including the book called The Amateur that was written by Ed Klein. And I am telling you, there is some explosive stuff in here. And those of you that want to say it's a hack piece, well, he's got a 3-hour taped interview with Jeremiah Wright. He interviewed over 200 individuals. And it's pretty scary who we elected president of the United States, folks. It's pretty scary. And I remember helping elect Clyde Middleton to the Kenton County Judge Executive position all the way back in 1988-89. And I had breakfast with him the morning after the election at Bob Evans in Crestview Hills. And that morning of that lunch, that morning breakfast, I learned from Clyde that despite me raising all the money, while Ralph Dries was the quote-unquote finance chairman who only agreed to do it if I did all the work. That's the fact. That's the truth. So Ralph was the finance chairman, but I did all the work. I scheduled all the fundraisers. Now, by the way, in any political campaign, there's a lot of people that help, okay? But I was the one that organized the fundraisers, raised the money. I'm the one that called the shot to have this was the first election in politics to have, in Northern Kentucky, to have television in Cincinnati, on Cincinnati television. First, I orchestrated the polling. Get this, we had a former Navy guy that was the sign chairman that was supposed to go put up all the signs. On the eve of the sign day, he thought it was too much work and he quit. In steps me and all my fraternity brothers and buddies and friends. And we put up all the signs. Here I am, a lawyer, and I'm the head of the sign committee. I gave a year of my life to Clyde Middleton. He'd call me up and he'd say, hey, can you do this? And I'd say, don't worry, there's going to be plenty of legal business for you. Promises made. We were going to be the airport legal counsel. You know? We were going to do all these things. The morning breakfast after the election, it was made completely clear to me I was screwed. I couldn't believe it. Arch enemies of our campaign were going to be awarded appointments, I was told. I mean, I could not believe it. You say, Dog, why'd you just tell us that story? Here's why. This book, The Amateur, reflects that Oprah Winfrey, when Oprah Winfrey endorsed Barack Obama, he went zooming past Hillary Clinton. Oprah cried the night he won the election in the crowd. You saw those images. Oprah started out calling Barack a lot, giving him some suggestions and advice, and all of a sudden, Valerie Jarrett and Michelle Obama decided, oh yeah, Oprah, you're not going to be the first lady. I'm the first lady. And guess what? They blocked out the woman who helped elect this guy more than anybody else. And guess who's not campaigning out there for Barack Obama this time around?
Meow.
It gets even better, TC. The Kennedys, Ted Kennedy and Caroline Kennedy, went out for Barack Obama. Bobby Kennedy and the others didn't. And guess what? On his deathbed, it's told how Ted Kennedy called the family together and says, man, we got to get behind this guy. Caroline Kennedy wanted a role in the administration in education. The Kennedys supported him against Hillary Clinton, who they'd always supported. Caroline Kennedy ignored politics. Sucks. Bill Clinton's right. There's no loyalty in politics. We come back, I'm going to give you another hour and 45 minutes of high energy superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Make sure you stick around for Bill O'Reilly's Talking Points coming up at 7:28 this morning, right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Thank you, TC. A Fox News poll out there shows that the gap for the independent voters to Romney has narrowed a little bit. And also that people would like Mitt Romney to be their money manager, but they would prefer Barack Obama to be their life coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I would hope that the Bulldog Nation members were not polled in this poll and that none of you would say that you would want Barack Obama, of all people, to be your life coach.
I don't know if I want to be rich enough to where I want to waste money on, quote-unquote, a life coach.
You know, I go back and forth all this time, TC, about whether I want to be filthy rich or just a commoner.
Nah, filthy rich.
I want to be filthy rich.
Yeah, there's no going back and forth on that one.
I want to be filthy rich.
You know,
doesn't every American? Ladies and gentlemen of Bulldog Nation, don't you want to be rich? Don't you want to be rich? I want to be rich to rule my world. How's that song go? We ought to find that song.
That's two different songs you combine. You know, I would like to retort on this.
Retort.
On The Amateur, this book. I don't doubt anything that's in that book. You know, especially the thing with Oprah. You could just tell. There's a cat fight going on there. I could see that going on. Now, the thing with Carolyn Kennedy, I don't know what's going on with that. You would think that a Kennedy would be doing something in the administration, because what a huge endorsement for a junior senator to get, Ted Kennedy behind him. However, I will say this. I don't think there's anything going on with Barack that's not going on with every other politician, no matter what party they're with. That kind of stuff goes on all the time. Sure.
Exactly. I mean, I just gave you the example of how I did. Absolutely. Yeah. It is amazing to me how politicians, they want your money, they want your support, and then when they get in there, forget about it. But there are exceptions. I'm one of these people, regardless of party, when I see people being rewarded, I kind of respect it because I was betrayed once before. Right. There are exceptions. I actually made more friends in campaigns that I worked on where we lost than when we won. But there are exceptions. For example, Larry Forgy, who I supported for public office. Larry Forgy, do anything for me. Quote of the day, it does me no injury for my neighbor to say there are 20 gods or no gods. Kind of sums up religious freedom, doesn't it? Today in history, Lewis and Clark began their exploration. Buffalo Bill Cody's first Wild West show premiered in Omaha in 1883. 1884, Alaska became a U.S. territory. How do you like that? General Eisenhower scheduled in 1944, he says June 5th, D-Day. A great day in the United States of America's legal history and societal history. 1954, the Supreme Court unanimously ruled in Brown versus Board of Education that segregation was not the way to go. It would not be the law of the land in education. This is a funny history story. 1961, Castro offered to exchange the Bay of Pig prisoners for, guess what, folks? 500 bulldozers. That's funny, isn't it? He needed bulldozers. 1973, Watergate Committee began its hearings. That's pretty cool. Vincent van Gogh's portrait of Dr. Cachet auctioned for $82.5 million. I think I'm going to start painting, and then when I die, maybe my art will sell. You know, you got to be dead for your art to be worth anything. Today's birthday, Sugar Ray Leonard, 56, Dennis Hopper, who passed away, God love him. And then also, we are sad to report Army Staff Sergeant Israel Nuanis died May 12th in Kandahar province from wounds sustained during an enemy attack with an improvised explosive device. He's 38 from Las Cruces, New Mexico. God bless him and his family and the Army, the Corps, the Guard, the Air Force, the Navy, and all those that fight. We have a call. Jim from White Oak, you're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty or wise for Bulldog Nation.
Hey, I always want to give a bump, as they say on the blogs, to Bulldog Nation when I'm awake this hour. Eric, I wonder if Oprah, it was so much Michelle and the others snubbing her. I wonder if part of it was, though, that she saw Barack following the same policies as Bush regarding the war overseas, regarding Wall Street, and I wonder if she was turned. But PR-wise, and I can't stand Romney or Barack, but PR-wise, to not have Oprah and the Kennedys be kind of, if not front and center, at least visible, that is a tremendous mistake that the Obama administration made, I think.
Not only is it a mistake because you got Oprah, who was always be available for you to go talk to, her show, number one show. But here is the thing that I think is reflective of character. Okay? When you have somebody like Oprah, that when you went on her show and she endorsed you, it is an empirical fact that Oprah's ratings took a hit from her political involvement in Barack Obama's campaign. She actually paid a financial price for supporting him. And the poll numbers, you go back, after she endorsed him, Barack Obama went past Hillary Clinton. What does it say about the character of Barack Obama that he does that to Oprah Winfrey and Caroline Kennedy?
Yeah, well,
that would be like me. Let me give you a comparable.
Yeah.
That would be like me when I become a national radio syndicated person, not taking Willie's call, not taking TC call. Of course, TC will be right there with me. Not taking Jamie Schloy's call, acting like I don't know Chuck Holbrook, acting like I don't. I mean that would be the comparative thing, which will never happen. If I become president of the United States, TC will be able to text me.
And if I believed in Oprah and she believed in me, or let's say a spokesman as popular as Oprah, I would have created a special position like ombudswoman of the American people, because it would have been such a great PR move. But of course, I think that Barack and Bush before and Clinton before him really are in pretty much of a straitjacket. I'll bet you if you could get, in many ways, you could get Michelle Obama to talk candidly, she would say she's really disappointed with how little leeway they have. One other thing, Bulldog, when Clyde Middleton sat down with you that morning afterwards. Now, I've not been as heavily involved in that type of thing as you have, but I've gotten the impression, even on the local level, even when we're not talking Goldman Sachs or big billionaires at the national level, when it's the campaign, they want your shoe leather, your money, your time. But as soon as they get elected, it's like there's this world that the average person doesn't see that kicks in, where deals have been made, and it's really kind of disgusting in many ways. And that sounds like what you ran into the morning after. It
is really disgusting, Jim. Let me just paint the picture for you. This is a fact.
Yeah.
And if this is an illegal quid pro quo, it was an illegal quid pro quo. Bottom line is, or it's just political promises. Clyde Middleton promised our law firm the airport legal work if he won. He promised Lanny Holbrook the water district, and he promised John Brooking the sanitation district legal work. He gets elected. You know what he does? He betrays every one of us. He goes back to the law firms that had all that legal work and said, hey, I'm betraying these guys, so you got to ante up now for my next campaign. That's what Clyde Middleton did to all three of us.
Wow. And that is
people don't think deals are made baloney. Deals are made. Promises are made. Some keep, some don't keep.
I was just wondering, just imagine now, once we get to New York and you're like the top dog, okay?
Yes.
Imagine if there's some female, a powerful woman in New York who helps you rise to the top. How is your wife going to feel about her?
I'll explain to the wife that I'm sorry, I got to be kind. This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I heard a story this morning that this one man boarded an airplane, and he took his seat next to this beautiful woman that was sitting right next to him. And he had never seen a woman so beautiful. So he struck up a conversation. He said, business trip or vacation? And she smiled and said, business. I'm going to the annual Nymphomania convention in Chicago. The guy swallowed hard and says, here's the most gorgeous woman I have ever seen sitting next to me, and she's going to a meeting for nymphomaniacs. He struggled to maintain his composure, and he calmly asked, what's your business role at this convention? She responded, lecturer, I use my experience to debunk some of the popular myths about sexuality. Really? He said. What myths are those? Well, she explained to the guy, one popular myth is that the Eskimos are the most well-endowed, when in fact it's the Native American Indians who are most likely to possess that trait. She went on. She goes, another popular myth is that the Frenchmen are the best lovers, when actually it's the men of Jewish descent. However, and this might shock you, the best potential lover in all categories is the Southern redneck. Suddenly the woman realized, this is a little uncomfortable, and she blushed. She goes, I'm sorry, she said. I shouldn't really be discussing this with you. I don't even know your name. And the man replied, Tonto Goldstein, but my friends just call me Bubba. I bet you, Brad Hamster, in all the world, there's not a single guy called Tonto Goldstein. Is that not great? And his friends call him Bubba. Is that funny? I think it's funny. You ready for some pop culture while we wait on John O'Sleeka?
Why, certainly.
From Window World? You're late, O'Sleeka. I'm going to pound you. I'm going to pound away that you are late, O'Sleeka. But when he delivers his Window World product, it's always on time. American Idol Jennifer Lopez is reported to be leaving the show. Do we care? Justin Bieber says he's had a beer before, but doesn't like to get out of control because he has trust issues. Smart guy, Justin. Dallas remake. TNT is going to do it. Larry Hagman's even going to come back as JR.
Really?
You'll like this, TC, because I think you were a fan. Arsenio Hall wants a talk show.
Does he, again?
It's going to be called the Arsenio and Bulldog Show. On the market, apparently Elin Nordegren is single again. I didn't know she was dating anybody in particular. Actor Nick Stahl, who played John Connor in Terminator 3, is missing. It's credible. He's gone. They can't find him. Maybe the Terminator took him. The first masseuse, or masseur, whatever they call him, who sued Travolta, and remember his lawyer withdrew because he said he got the date wrong, is now hired Gloria Allred. That concludes pop culture, but I have a rhetorical question about this. I just got a rhetorical question. Last night, I got my weekly massage by Kim Guffey. By the way, Kim Guffey is the best massage therapist ever. All right? I've gotten massages by lots of people. She is, it's not even close. I can't even get a massage. You go to these resorts and you get these mamby-pamby massage. I'm telling you, Kim Guffey, it's not even close. And I get one. And I asked Kim about the John Travolta issue. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I said, what do you think about this? And she said, oh, he's guilty. No question about it. She goes, the things that I've experienced and what these people are saying, there's no question. And I said, you know what struck me, Kim, is why would John Travolta have male masseuses when you can get a female masseuse any place you go? Why would Travolta want male masseuses? And he's picked some of them up before and taken them and everything else. And I said, I just want you to know, Kim, that you don't need to give me a Travolta. We all know what that is now. You know, you spread a little bit. I said, I do not want a Travolta. I lay in my underwear anyway.
Well, he may have been vindicated, you know. His accusers have dropped the lawsuits.
Yeah. Money.
Well, you never know.
Money. You know, Tiger Woods' ladies all dropped their lawsuits, too. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, they were all gone.
And now they're shopping on Rodeo Drive.
Let me tell you what, we got new terms in American dictionary now. A Hamilton is 4 home runs in a game, and a Travolta is you know what. In local news, let me see what we have in local news. Thomas Huge faces life in prison after Hamilton County jury found he strangled or choked his 15-month-old daughter to death. I don't know all the facts of this. If it is true, that's messed up. You choked your 15-month-old daughter to death? Hang him. By the way, how messed up is this, TC? If the jury really thought he did this, which they did because they give him life imprisonment, another case of you kill him.
Exactly.
Why waste spending money on a guy, life in prison, for killing his 15-year-old daughter? Execute the guy.
I agree.
Let me see. Charles Robert Stevenson has waived extradition and will be transferred from Boone County Jail over to Dearborn County. He, of course, is the jackwagon that killed people for $1,000. You know what? I'm not going to ever commit murder, but if I do, it won't be because of $1,000. Villa Hills Mayor Mike Martin refuses to step down. I don't know all the facts of this one either, but because of some of the people I know involved, I tend to think he's probably getting railroaded or try to get railroaded. Hang in there, Mike Martin. UDF is going to expand their partnership with Buskin Bakery. By the way, I know that program is working because at the local UDF out in Independence, they rave about how well it's going. Buskin Bakery. Can you imagine how much more money they're making because of UDF selling their donuts? As we continue to wait for John Oslika of Window World, where are you? Where is John? Where is John?
There's some breaking news. If you can stall for about 30 seconds, a Bulldog Nation member sent us some breaking news, and I just double-checked it with the Drudge Report. Let me go find it.
Okay.
I'm going to find it. Bring it up.
I think I know what this breaking news is. It has to do, I think, with green water. I think it's breaking news with green water. He doesn't realize that I have it. Is that? Yeah. See, I'm on top of this. This is in my newsletter. In Toms River, New Jersey, the residents have noticed the green water when filling up bathtubs and swimming pools. They've been told it is still safe to drink and that the EPA has sent inspectors to solve the problem. Well, this was my note on my newsletter, TC. This is not the original green water.
It is not, but it is safe to drink. That's the important thing. The EPA got our check. It is safe to drink.
TC, I got to ask you a question. How many people in Toms River, New Jersey are going to say, yeah, it's safe to drink. I'm going to drink this stuff?
I'm telling you, if we get Dr. Kurtzman to drink it, we get a real doctor to drink it.
This is hilarious, though.
That's great.
I mean, green water.
I think it's a promotional stunt.
You know what? It could be maybe our publicist is doing this in order to promote green water nationwide.
Now think about it. Now your son-in-law, does he work? He worked with the Water District, or
and the way Oslika's looking at me, he's a pretty big guy. Maybe I shouldn't have mocked him for being late.
Now let's make nice. Let's make nice right now.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to say anything about you being late or anything like that.
We have a special guest with
Northern
us.
Kentucky. I love it.
I like John Oslika's haircut.
Yeah.
Pretty, isn't it?
I'll tell you right now, he has the same haircut as TC and I, so we like John. How much time's left?
Oh, we can do another minute before the break starts.
Well, let's get this subject then started going to the break. So we have a minute here, John Oslika. Introduce your guest and tell us why you wanted to stop in to the studio this morning.
Well, thank you very much. Who I have here is Brennan Scanlon, and his brother passed away about 9 years ago from melanoma. And Brennan and his father, I'll let him proceed, but him and his father started a memorial motorcycle ride in Brady's name. So I'll let Brennan take it away.
Brennan, tell us about the motorcycle ride and your brother.
It's actually coming up on the 8th annual bike ride. We're coming up here this May 19th, which is actually Saturday. And it's a ride where we get about 50 bikes together, go for about 4 hours starting at 9 a.m., and we raise awareness for skin cancer and have a lot of fun doing it. Well,
when we come back from the break, we'll have a little bit more discussion with this with you guys. And I just want to say I go every 6 months to Dr. Shear, dermatologist, get completely naked. That's right, Bulldog Nation. Just think of completely naked. Because you never know where you might find something. And I let the doctor look at me up and down, and he says, I will never die of melanoma if I do this because you catch it early. Melanoma, for lack of a better word, sucks When we return, we'll talk to Brennan Scanlon and John Oslika about this ride, and we'll also ask their some important questions about the news of the day. We like to pull them in on Real Talk 1160.
Good afternoon. It's Real Sports with Wildman Rick the Brick, Kevin Coucha, and Jeff Porcaro, 5 to 7, right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160, and one of the best Bulldog Nation loyal members is good old Ross.
Yeah.
And Ross said, hey, what's the 3-day forecast look like? Here it is, Ross. Today, sunny, high 75. Friday, sunny, high of 82. Saturday, sunny, high of 86. See, nice. Ross didn't have to tune in to any of the local news. He got the 3-day forecast right there. It's going to be sunny and beautiful. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen of Bulldog Nation and American Jury, and we're sending it out in the newsletter. We're posting it on Facebook. Chuck, I know you're listening. Tell Sarah to get it up and Liz to get it up on Facebook right away. If you're a fan of the radio, a fan of mine, if you are a client of mine, if you are a Facebook friend of mine,
or fan of the radio station,
well, we by the way, we gave Jamie Schloy the a list, a newsletter or a flyer for him to send out to all of the advertisers at the radio station. If you're an advertiser at the radio station, come down from 5 to 7 here in the parking lot. There's nothing better than a parking lot party. We're going to have music. We're going to have Montgomery Inn. Window World does not serve food, so we did not do Window World. Window World's going to have a booth set up to sell you a window while you're here at your Montgomery Inn. We're going to have an open bar. How you like that?
Thank you.
You're going to be able to get a mixed drink on the Bulldog, and Window World's going to try to sell you a window. By the way, John, I know you weren't planning on doing that, but you're welcome to set up a booth and sell windows.
Well, we may hand out some pamphlets for sure.
By the way, I like your T-shirt, Window World University.
We're trained well.
You know what? I lost my first wife to cancer, and we've all been affected by cancer. Cancer sucks. Brennan, tell us about I want to hear a brief human story about your brother. How old was he? When did he get diagnosed with melanoma? How long was his battle? Was he married? Did he just tell me a little bit? Tell the American Jury about Brennan.
Well, Brady was actually a single guy, thankfully, up until the point where he was about to have a fiance. But
how old was he?
He was 32 when he passed. Yeah, actually, October of 2004, he was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma, and 6 months later, by March of 2005, he was gone. And it's one of the fastest that the oncologist had seen. And the reason is because it went undetected for some time. So, he's a great guy. He owned a landscaping business. Everybody loved him. Very into nature, kayaking, obviously motorcycling. And
obviously independent if he never took a woman.
No. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty much.
So he lived life of happiness.
He went out west. He went out west all the time.
Just kidding, ladies.
Yeah. He went out west all the time. He just loved to be outside.
Well, good golly. 6 months.
Yep.
Man. Now, he's survived by brothers, sisters, mom, dad. Who was he survived by?
Actually, that exactly. One brother, one sister, and parents. And we all come together to do this thing for him every year. So.
All right. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the American Jury about this event, and please email me the information, too, and I'll put it up on the newsletter. If somebody wants to participate in this event, what should they do? Where do they go? How do they get involved?
Very easy. Just go to the website, rideremember.com, and from there it gives them full details. I'll tell you real quick the way the ride came to be. In December of that year when he was diagnosed, he was actually planning a ride for us. My dad and I and him, we used to ride all the time. So we put it on the calendar for May of that year. Well, that year came and he had passed, and what we found was here's this ride we were going to take with him down to West Virginia, and he was gone. And I said, no. And Dad agreed. He said, we're not going to take that off the calendar. So that's the ride weekend. So it's every year since we've been riding.
You know, rides are popular to raise money, and motorcycle riding it knows no socioeconomic class. Everybody rides. I used to have John Oslika, I used to have a motorcycle till one day I laid it over in a curve, and I said, I am not going to ride a motorcycle anymore. Do you ride, John?
I rode down here this morning.
You did?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to be on Channel 19 now.
John, what size of shocks do you have on your bike?
It's healthy.
Just so you know, guys, John Oslika could be an NFL offensive lineman. He could squish me like a bug, but he's a gentle giant. John, tell us about Window World. You are one of the best advertisers on this radio station, so the radio station really appreciates you. Tell me about your perspective with your company, Window World, out there. How's things going?
Window World, the state of Window World in Cincinnati is tremendous. The people continue to.
You're not going to vote for Barack Obama, are you? Do you give Barack Obama credit for your Window World success?
No, I give my office staff and my salespeople and my hardworking installers.
But things are going good.
Things are going very well, yes.
That's because you do a good job. By the way, I just want to let you know that I do what I'm told around here, but do I have to keep doing these commercials with Jamie Schloy of Window World? Because I'm tired of him calling up and whining in these commercials that I got to do with him. Can we get rid of Schloy in this commercial?
Well, as the regional station guru manager / poobah, he wants to be in that commercial, and I think he's going to ride that horse until.
That's kind of his outlet to get on the radio, isn't it? You know, as a station manager behind the scenes, I guess doing your commercials a way that he can express himself.
I think he's already writing the next one.
Don't you think he sounds a little too whiny, though?
Doesn't he always?
I hope Schloy's listening. He can take a joke.
He's not up yet.
Well, I'm glad Window World is going well. By the way, I'm going to give you a chance to promote. You know, Dr. Kurtzman invites himself in here every Wednesday. We tell him to stay away, and he keeps coming. We're going to let you got to come up with a song for Window World, man.
Yeah,
anyway, John, I'm going to give you a chance to promote Window World. What's your shtick? If somebody's out there and their house needs new windows or something, what's your big selling point? What do you got going?
Well, Window World is the home of the original 189 window. And our company is the largest replacement window company in America by far. And when we come into somebody's home, we offer as good or better product than our competition with a low price guarantee that includes glass breakage and labor warranty. Once we put the windows in your home, not only will your energy bills go down, but you never have to worry about those windows again. We'll take care of them forever, and if you move, we'll take care of the next owner, and if they move, we'll take care of the next owner. Never charged anybody.
When I built my house, I got really good windows installed, and one of the reasons why is because it's important. I mean, a good window is important.
It's huge.
And if you've got defective windows, for windows that are old or they're outdated, and you go in there and you replace, you're actually going to save them probably the cost of what you do easy with the energy savings, right?
It's huge. And we have an energy saving guarantee that if you replace all the windows in your home and you have energy efficient doors, we guarantee a 35% reduction in your heating cost over the next year, or we'll pay you up to $500.
Whoa.
All right, let's shift gears here because we like you to weigh in on something. And we just it's just important to get your perspective. Mike Leake. Do we give up on Mike Leake as a Reds pitcher, John O'Sleek, or do we stick with him?
The only thing I saw about Mike last night was he was laying in the dirt after crossing home plate or something. I didn't get to see much. I had some company, so I didn't get to see much of the game.
All right. We got to ask you, if you have to get a massage, male or female massage therapist?
Comes to my house, female.
I do the same thing. You get one every week?
She is tremendous.
Same here. I give. Do you
I
get
don't
a
give her name.
Travolta? Do you ask for a Travolta?
Well, usually Val's in the room, so.
I mean, I don't get why John Travolta would have. If you have all that, by the way, when I'm as rich as John Travolta, I'm going to have Kim Guffey just go wherever we go and give everybody a massage all day long.
I'll tell you, my
strong hands.
Oh man, she's tremendous.
See, Kim's the same way. Kim Guffey's the same. Go ahead and promote her. What's her name?
Beth Feldhaus
is her name.
Oh man!
But I'm telling you right now, Kim just gets into that back and shoulders, and it's like, holy cow. I think she keeps me alive. All the stress that I have, if I didn't get a weekly massage, I think I'd die. All right, before we wrap up,
we can blame her.
Yeah, Brennan. Thank you. Brennan, one more time, plug your event.
Absolutely. It's this Saturday, May 19th. Bikes start to convene at 8:30 a.m. South Hill Civic Club in Fort Wright, just up the Cutting Hill. We leave at 9. We'll ride for 4 hours, come back for a great picnic. And, Eric, I got a memorial T-shirt for you. This is our gift to you.
Thank you.
Wear it with pride.
Thank you. I will. We'll promote it some more. This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. If you need a window replaced in your house or business, called Window World. John O'Sleek. And if you want to help out a great family, memory of John Brady, go to ride.remember.
John's a good guy. He knows his coffee, too. He was getting a cup of coffee, he took a sip, he goes, that's La Crema. I'm like, wow, that guy's pretty good.
TC, according to the Daily Mail,
Yeah.
when Barack Obama lost in the 2000 election, the future First Lady was supposedly disgusted that her husband had ignored her warnings not to take on four-term incumbent Bobby Rush. Their marriage, in its 8th year at the time, was on the rocks.
Oh, really?
With Barack so depressed, some of his friends feared he was suicidal.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's
See, Michelle only loves Barack when times are good. It's the only time she loves Barack.
Who was the one guy dropped out months ago, the Republican, one of the guys that was running for president? His wife was one that was pushing him to run. We were joking about him.
Rick Perry.
Rick Perry. You think it was like that?
Oh, gosh, yes.
You think his marriage is on the skids now?
Right, yeah. Rick, you let the family down. You have
right.
stained the family.
But he bounced back from his depression, huh? Was he on medication?
Yes, he did. He was on medication.
Was he really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if he was or not.
Oh, I mean, this might have been serious here.
I know.
You uncovered something here.
The Reds beat the Mets. Mike Leake did okay last night. Reds 6, Mets 3. They play at 1:10 today. Matt Latos will be pitching. The Celtics spanked the 76ers 107-91. The Thunder beat the Lakers 77-75. The Devils beat the Rangers 3-2, tied the series 1-1. Bodemeister, the favorite is the favorite in Saturday's Preakness. How you like that?
At the Bodemeister Meisty Boater?
Bodemeister Meisty Boater. Let me see, what else do we have? Study, people who drink coffee live longer.
Yeah, baby.
I don't drink coffee, but I pop caffeine pills. Does that count?
Yeah, I guess that would work as well. Well, John O'Sleek, he knows his coffee.
Oh, my gosh. A new study finds that a widely used antibiotic, azithromycin, that's the Z-Pack, which I take all the time, may increase likelihood of sudden death in adults. What?
Whoa.
Especially those who have heart disease.
Stop taking it now.
Everything's going to kill you, man.
Stop taking it now.
This is a sad story. Police were called to the home of Robert Kennedy Jr. in New York after his wife, Mary Kennedy, was found dead Wednesday. She apparently committed suicide by hanging herself. She's distraught. You know, Kennedy divorced her, dating a beautiful young blonde actress, and that's what happens.
That's sad. I mean,
it is sad.
It just continues for them, you know?
Yeah. She had alcohol. There's a lot of drinkers in that family. Kind of sad to be in that family. You got so many demons.
I'm not so. I mean, look. Let's go on down the list. Going back to Joe Jr.
Yeah,
he died. He died in the war, didn't he? Or was JFK was injured. He had back issues.
Yep.
You know, and of course, then he was assassinated. His brother was assassinated. John Jr. went down in the plane crash.
Yes. His John F. Kennedy's sister Kit died in an airplane crash.
One of them had
his oldest brother died in a Air Force mission.
Yeah.
One died in a skiing accident.
Then there's Chappaquiddick.
Just on and on and on.
One Kennedy with a leg amputated.
Yes.
Man, our lives are pretty good, aren't they?
Our lives are good. By the way, speaking of good life, this attorney reality show that I'm doing some negotiations. And by the way, this isn't makeup. I really am. And yesterday would have been a hoot. I did a television interview with Channel 19. I had my shorts and gym shoes on and a T-shirt, so I put a suit coat on.
You're going to wear that for the interview?
Over my thing.
You're going to wear that?
Then I went home and I got a shirt and tie, and I put a shirt and tie on, still had my shorts on, kind of like they say those sportscasters wear shorts, but they have a suit on out front.
Yeah.
Then in between news things, my dad had a friend raiser at his house for Thomas Massey. He's running for Congress. So I had to go up there and I made a contribution. Full disclosure, folks, I did make a contribution because my dad asked me to. But I went to that. Here's a congressional candidate at my dad's place. Was packed. There's a lot of people that went. I went in. I saw where he was talking to people, the congressman to be. And I noticed somebody next to him looked like an aide, and I said, "Are you with the campaign?" He said, "Yeah." Hand him a check, and I left. He goes, boy, you know how to make an entrance and an exit.
Now,
and I said, well, I was wearing a T-shirt and shorts.
Okay, not the suit and shorts.
No.
Okay.
But it was funny. I did this for optimal presence. I pulled up in my Bulldog Nation truck with the logo on the side.
Was there a camera crew, photo op?
No, but I pulled up front where there was nobody else parked, so everybody know that the Bulldog had arrived. I'm just teasing. I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
I know I did.
Yes, you did.
I like him.
Come on, there were thousands of people there. I could find out.
I like making fun of myself. I have what's called a self-deprecating humor, TC. You ought to try it sometimes. You never laugh at yourself.
You're right.
You take yourself way too serious.
I know. I got to get out of that habit. Seriously?
Spotsylvania County emergency officials are working to secure drug compartments in ambulance following a string of thefts. One is morphine. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, they're now stealing the drugs off ambulances. I know it's not funny, but it is. Jeez, they take copper from churches. They take drugs. Hell in a handbasket.
How do you break into an ambulance?
I don't know.
I imagine that they've got more tight security on those vehicles than just your average door lock, you know?
I don't know. In the John Edwards trial, John Edwards rested his case. He didn't call his mistress. He didn't call his daughter. He didn't call himself. John. You should have testified.
Now, see, what do you think?
He may not be found not guilty anyway, but he should have not. He should have testified. He could have got up there, admitted the shame of things that he did, but he could have said, hey, why wouldn't the jury want to hear from him that says, hey, I was just trying to keep this from my wife who was dying of cancer. I felt terrible. I was engaged in this relationship. Why wouldn't he take the stand and do that?
Because he still wanted to be the vice president. He still thought he had a chance, at least maybe a shot in the cabinet somewhere. I don't know. I didn't testify. I would. I think, don't you agree that you should always testify?
Yes. Absolutely. Jury wants to hear from you.
Let me tell you what happened.
And if you're maintaining your innocence, you should definitely testify.
Right.
Former Poison frontman Bret Michaels has settled a lawsuit with organizers of the Tony Awards and CBS. He was injured by a piece of scenery during a 2009 show. In his suit, Bret Michaels said he was hit by a descending backdrop as he was exiting the stage, suffering a broken nose and busted lip. Holy cow.
He needs to see Dr. Kurtzman.
In the government's trial, Roger Clemens, Brian McNamee struggled with his recollection, offering shifting explanations under Carlson. Clemens will be found not guilty.
It's funny what a young man recollects.
Correct. General Motors pushed a lawyer to drop the potential punitive damages claim involving a pre-bankruptcy vehicle involved in a fatal accident, asserting a level of immunity. General Motors, you know what? Since General Motors is owned by the government, I guess they can now claim immunity when they screw up.
So the vehicle itself was filing bankruptcy? Now they've got individual cars filing bankruptcy? Man, they've got issues.
I got to file bankruptcy on my car.
Car can't make the mortgage.
The White House has added "Did You Know" sections at the bottoms of many of the biographies of former presidents at whitehouse.gov to compare what President Barack Obama has done to some of the actions taken by past leaders. I'm telling you, I cannot stand this president, and I cannot stand Valerie Jarrett and Michelle Obama, who are the real presidents.
Jared.
We have a triumvirate running our government. The triumvirate is Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Valerie Jarrett.
Jared.
Did you hear Joe Biden in Youngstown yesterday?
Yeah.
We want to be rich.
Joe was good yesterday, wasn't he?
We want to be rich.
I was ready to vote for Joe for president after hearing that.
My mama, she wanted me to be typical Joe Biden's mom being an underachiever. Joe Biden's the only mom who said, I want you to grow up and be vice president. Only Joe Biden's mom, because she didn't think Lunch Pail Joe could make it to president.
I thought that was a little odd that he would say it like the way he did. But after that, he was going on, we want to be rich too.
We want to be rich too.
We want to be rich. He was great. Now, yesterday, he was on point.
Joe, by the way, I'm going to put you on the spot, TC, because I've had lots of texts about this.
On the spot, okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Who are you going to vote for president?
Oh, I'm not saying.
I knew
I'm not saying.
You were going to say that. Because you know what I told them all?
What's that?
You are either going to not vote or vote for Barack. I know you're not going to vote for Mitt Romney.
I will vote. Let's put it this way. I will definitely vote, but I will not say who. Yeah, I'll surprise you. I won't say who.
All right.
I know you're definitely not going to vote for Barack.
How do you conclude that, T? So what possible thing if I said would make you say that?
Call me crazy. Just a hunch.
We come back, more radio superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Coming up in just 11 minutes, it's the Huckabee Report. Mike Huckabee at 8:30 here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I am going to publicly call out 2 of my employees because they deserve it.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not really upset about it. I find it humorous and funny. My 2 staff people that work over here in the downtown Cincinnati office, the 2 gals that work there, and I'll leave their names off of this. True story. When they do their timesheets for their hours, they say they start at 8 o'clock. Every day, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock. They haven't realized that I am a multitasking dude. So at my breaks at 8:15, 8:30, I do things, including going into the office. I just went over there. It is now 8:20. I went over there at 8:15. Neither one of them are there. Anytime I have ever gone over to my office at 8:15, my 2 staff girls aren't there, and they have been putting down on their hour sheets that they begin at 8 o'clock every day. Why do they? And I am so good. I buy them lunch every Friday. I let them go home at 4 o'clock on summer, springtime months. Why do employees lie on their timesheets?
I don't. Can't hear.
I mean, maybe I got to get a machine that they got to clock in. I mean, and I'm going to go over there after this show. I'm going to go over there and taunt them. I'm going to say, 8 o'clock. You guys are never here at 8 o'clock. How can you put on your timesheet 8 o'clock?
Well, maybe they came in at 7:30, did some work for half an hour, ran out to Frisch's to get you something to eat because they were concerned about you, your health and everything.
They think they can bribe us with baking brownies.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, by the way, I want you to do something for me, TC.
What's that?
In your spare time, you make a list. I'm being serious, of all the feel-good songs that you'd like to submit, because we're running out of the list.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick ones off your list.
How about Rick D's Disco Duck?
Well, you do whatever you want. But after this, we're gonna have our feel-good song. We got a phone caller, Don in Norwood's on John Edwards. You're on Real Talk 1160.
Yeah. Hey, I heard you guys talking about whether Edwards should take the trial, and I think you guys both said maybe John Edwards should get on the stand. But I was thinking about that one. My take, if this guy, who everybody in the country probably thinks is a dirtbag, and
he only has a 3% favorable rating.
I know, and if he lied to us for how many, I don't know how long the affair went on, but let's say it was a 6-month period, he lied to his wife. He lied to his children. He lied to everybody except that right-hand man of his. So if he went on a jury, he's going to lie to save his skin. Who in their right mind would believe him on the stand? I just think it would just be a total waste. And if I was on that jury, as soon as he opened his mouth, I would just say, hey, you got to discredit it.
So you kind of think he's darned if he's due, darned if he's not.
Yeah, I mean, who would believe him? I just think if he was on the stand, I would just say, oh, give me a break, John Edwards. I mean, I don't believe. If you couldn't tell the truth to your wife, you're not going to tell the truth to me, who you don't even know.
All right, Don.
Point.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Well, I am so depressed about my office staff lying on their timesheets day after day after day that I need a feel-good song.
All right.
And I just want them to know that you cannot fool the Bulldog. You cannot fool the Bulldog. I love this song. Does this past year feel good? We've never used it before. We've done Baba O'Reilly, but we've never done this song, TC.
No, we've not.
We ought to just talk while the intro is going on because it takes a little while. The U.S. Senate voted down Obama's budget 99-0.
Why?
Rasmussen poll in North Carolina, Romney 51, Obama 43.
99-0? He got shut out?
Listen to these words, folks.
He got shut out?
Office girls in Cincinnati, listen. Barack, listen. I am not calling for an armed revolution.
Or a legged revolution.
Love this song. Another staff member of mine has texted me, don't be depressed.
Do what? Don't embarrass us?
No, they don't want me to be depressed by staff members lying on their timesheets.
You feeling better?
Yes. Changes had to come.
Uh-oh.
I have no idea what the Who is saying here, but it sounds good. Yes, the world does look. It looks worse. Now, thank you, TC. Now, I have a song that I am going to play for Glenn from Mason. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the Bulldog Nation, I know you don't like when I take Glenn's call, and I do it anyway just for the entertainment value. And this was one of my favorite songs when it came out. And it's by Roger Daltrey of The Who. And we'll play this every time Glenn calls now. Okay? Just listen. Most of you have never heard this song.
Sounds a lot different on that one, doesn't he?
I love this refrain.
Sounds like Abacab.
Listen to this. Here you go. Listen to this. Listen to this. Bitter.
It's a long time to get to that.
Don't you love it? It's about being bitter.
It took a long time to get to that payoff.
By the way,
edit that.
Bulldog Nation member Molly says she's going to bring me a cocktail.
Oh, really?
To cheer me up.
And you're going to drink it?
I'm going to drink it. Screwdriver, Molly.
Braver than I am.
Screwdriver. I'll do it after the show. I don't think it's FCC rule, isn't it?
What, that you can't drink
By
on
the way,
air?
Governor John Kasich of Ohio on John King USA CNN is picking a fight with old Barack Obama, basically saying, hey, we're doing well in Ohio despite Barack Obama. What do you think, TC?
I think
Kasich or Obama is why Ohio's
Are we?
Like maybe you're not?
Are we, collectively?
Collectively.
Or is he just saying that to get reelected?
After launching into a partisan speech with Brian Williams of NBC on takedown of bin Laden, Letterman asked, what more do we want this man to do for us? Speaking of Obama. Come on, Letterman. Oh, what more do we want Barack Obama to do to us? I just want to apologize for Bulldog Nation for getting psychedelic as we go to Stairway to Heaven. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160, raising a little hell. I have three things on economics that I want to cover. In wake of the losses at J.P. Morgan, the White House is seeking to ensure tough interpretation of a regulation designed to prevent banks from making bets with their own money. I'm telling you right now, it's a shame that J.P. Morgan gives the government some excuse for more regulation. Facebook IPO. Some of Facebook's biggest holders are selling up to $3.8 billion in extra shares in Friday's IPO. Goldman Sachs and Tiger Global will now sell as much as 50% of their stakes. They're going to cash out as soon as it happens.
Yeah.
The number of people in the U.S. older than 16 has grown, but the number in the job market hasn't. Where have all the workers gone? If we had that song, Where have all the flowers gone? I would like to read, and I will do this nicely. I want to read the facts from the Devon Mullins lawsuit, which we filed yesterday in the federal Southern District of Ohio on behalf of his mother and his father. And I want to stress this, that this happened on August 20th, 2011, and we have never received anything despite repeated requests from the Cincinnati Police Department. On August 20th, Devon Mullins, 16, attended the Black Family Reunion at Sawyer Point Park. He left Sawyer Point with friends to go to Government Square, located at 5th and Walnut, where he intended to board a Cincinnati Metro bus. He was confronted by Cincinnati police officer Oscar Cyranek, apparently because he saw a gun in his lapel. Not his lapel, but his waistband. Mr. Mullins and defendant Cyranek exchanged words. By the way, we have a witness to this, by the way. Mullins and defendant Cyranek faced each other, and defendant Cyranek, using both hands, grabbed Mr. Mullins by both of his arms. By the way, Cyranek didn't even use proper procedure to physically manhandle him. Defendant Cyranek forcibly pushed Mr. Mullins in a plate glass window. After pushing him down, this is so weird. Cyranek is standing behind him, and Mullins is in a sitting down position. And, you know, that's where a quote-unquote a struggle ensued. An acquaintance of Mr. Mullins, also minor, was present and asked by defendant Cyranek to back away. By the way, he's seen in the video. Mr. Mullins' acquaintance continued to observe Cyranek's handling of Mr. Mullins. While defendant Cyranek and Mr. Mullins were on the ground, he alternated between restraining. Defendant Cyranek reached towards Mr. Mullins and removed a gun from Mr. Mullins' person. And he threw the gun behind him and Mr. Mullins. The eyewitness supports this, and so does the video. The gun was out of Mr. Mullins' reach. So, at this point in time, Devon Mullins is on the ground, and he doesn't have a gun. While still positioned behind Mr. Mullins with his right hand, defendant Cyranek reached towards his right hip and drew his gun. Cyranek rose from the ground, his gun drawn and pointed directly at Mr. Mullins. And he shot him. Fired his gun in his chest. After he fired his gun, Mullins, while he was still lying on the ground, Cyranek goes over, picks up the gun, and brings it back to the body of Devon Mullins. You know what they said he did this for? To keep an eye on the gun. Ha, ha, ha! Does anybody believe that Officer Cyranek, Mullins was already dead? He couldn't keep the eye on the gun or where the gun was to show the true nature. I can't wait to read the police reports that they refuse to give us. I cannot wait. Those of you that think, well, he had a gun, Bulldog, you know, the police. No. The time he was shot, he didn't have a gun. And guess what, folks? I'm able to say, my client, I don't know if he should have had a gun or not. Maybe not, but you know what? I don't live in Devon Mullins' world. Do you, Bulldog Nation member, live in a neighborhood where other people have guns? And maybe you carry a gun for defense? I don't know. But let's assume that he shouldn't have had a gun. Let's go and say Devon Mullins shouldn't have struggled with the police officer. Are you then able to say then, well, in light of all that, it's okay that Officer Cyranek shot Devon Mullins when Devon Mullins, a 16-year-old kid, lying on the ground without a gun? I say, hell no. That boy did not have to die that day. That day. And it's all. And do you think that cop knew security cameras in Fifth Third Bank were recording all this? Hell no. TC, you want to comment?
I agree with everything you said there about the situation with Devon, but I can't believe that you are persecuting the police officer yet defending George Zimmerman, who shot an unarmed teen.
No, here's my whole thing. I have criticized George Zimmerman for being I've made fun of citizen patrols. I've said he should not have died that night. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at the medical evidence that George Zimmerman was getting the hell beat out of him, it's not just so simple of a situation.
He walked into that haunted house on his own.
Right. He should. I've made fun of Citizens Patrol.
All right.
I do.
Okay.
I just don't know if he should be prosecuted for what he's being prosecuted for. See, once again, TC, like I said at the outlet, I see every case differently. I observe the facts. Sometimes the cop's right, sometimes the cop's wrong. You know?
Yeah.
But in this particular case, I think this police officer was thinking, I got a kid that had a gun. I can get away with killing this kid. I'm convinced of it. He's thinking I can shoot.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that a police officer sworn to uphold the law, serve and protect, would have that kind of attitude?
Terrible. It's terrible.
That's the real issue.
I know it's real, and this is a big issue for this city because of the history that we've had.
Right. Right.
And I'm not saying this is a race issue. It's at least a dumb cop issue.
Yeah.
Come on. How does a police officer, I call it an execution, how do you execute an unarmed kid who doesn't have a gun anymore, who's over there? And why does he pick it up and bring it back over? Oh, to keep his eye on it, TC. Keep his eye on it, TC.
You got to keep the evidence right there with the...
Glenn from Mason, you're on Real Talk 1160.
What's going on, fellas?
Just trying to save America, Glenn.
Great point, TC, about the double standard when it comes to police officer and when it came to George Zimmerman.
Can never say anything nice.
Well, what do you mean I can never say anything nice?
Do you agree with my position in the Devon Mullins case?
Actually, no, because I think if you try to take a police officer's gun, you are just looking to be shot.
He never was trying to take. Get the fact. He was not trying to take the officer's gun.
I saw the videotape, and they were wrestling and whatever. And
he wasn't trying to take the officer's gun.
Well, that's not what I saw.
See, Glenn, you proved that you are incapable of agreeing with me on anything.
No, actually, I said I disagree based on what I saw, and just because I'm incapable of agreeing with you on anything.
So you admit it.
Were you under the assumption that people should always agree with you?
No.
Is this like part of that part?
I do think they should agree with me. Sometimes you never agree with me.
Is this part of the persona of being part of the majority where you feel that
Roger Daltrey ready?
There should be extra reverence paid to you because you share the same skin hue as the founding fathers? I don't buy any of that crap.
Why are you such a racist, Glenn?
What makes me a racist? What are you talking about?
You are racist. You mock my Harlan heritage. You mock the founding fathers because they were white.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Why are you so bitter and twisted?
Well, actually, I'm not bitter and twisted. I'm a married father of two. I'm living out here in Mason. I got a great job.
You're not bitter and twisted? You come off so bitter and twisted.
Well, coming off bitter and twisted to you is because you're naturally intimidated by a black guy with a strong opinion. That's just how
I am not intimidated by you, Glenn.
I mean, we all know this.
I would like to debate you publicly.
I would love to debate you.
Well, then why don't you accept my invitation?
So when you make dumb examples like Valerie Jarrett and Michelle Obama run the White House,
they do.
I could be there to make you look like an absolute and complete fool.
How about the parking lot this afternoon, huh?
I say, Glenn, that you and I need to have a public debate. Any place, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere.
All right, will you email me your contact information so we can set this up, Glenn?
Most people
can
know
you email me everything because you never do, Glenn? You fail to send me information so we can set this up, Glenn.
Tell TC to put me on hold. I'll come in the studio whenever you want.
All right. I put him on hold, TC. Get his contact information.
All right, hang on, Glenn. Don't go anywhere.
He's such bitter and twisted, man. I mean, I just think he is. He's incapable of agreeing with me on anything, even when I'm right. Even you agree with me sometimes.
Sometimes.
I love the text. I get more texts after Glenn calls than from anybody else.
Why don't
and
they
they're
call
always
the
like,
station?
why do you take this call, Bulldog?
Why don't they call the station?
Bitter.
You can only vote by calling the
station. This is Glenn's new theme song.
We might as well go into the break here. What do you think?
I think we should go in the break.
Yeah.
This is the Bulldog. When we come back, we'll wrap up this radio superbity on Real Talk 1160. Slow ride, Mr. Bitter and Twisted. Thank you, some guy with a microphone. You do a great job. It's the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I love this song. Brings back so many good memories. I fast dance with my wife at Maximilian's. She doesn't even remember to this song.
She doesn't remember?
No, but I do.
That takes the wind out of your sails, doesn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, Facebook friends, clients, advertisers, and fans and friends of Real Talk 1160, I would be happy to invite you. By the way, this is not a radio station sponsored event. It's the Bulldog sponsored event. We've opened up about a month ago my law office here in downtown Cincinnati at the Fox 19 Plaza at 635 West 7th Street. We're leasing some additional space for our Bulldog Nation business enterprises. And here in the parking lot garage today, we are going to host a party. We're going to have Bruce Springsteen. No, he's not going to come.
He canceled at the last
Some
minute.
guy in the microphone is going to do karaoke.
Oh, that's great.
And we're going to have Montgomery in. That is real. And we're also going to have drinks. You know, so you can have a cocktail or a beer or a Coke. And some Montgomery in on yours truly. Of course, you can come up and check our offices out, which just look like offices. I mean, you've all seen the inside of an office.
But it's a great view.
But it's an excuse to have a party. And, again, if you come, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You don't know who I am, do you? Introduce yourself.
No, I don't know who
I mean,
you are.
I tell
Get outta
Facebook
here.
friends all the time, you know, just, hey, Eric, my name's Bill Johnson. I'm one of your Facebook friends. Great. Because I just, you know, I hate when people test me, you know. It's not good. I don't do that to people because you don't remember everybody. And you know, recognize putting names to faces especially is tough.
You don't remember me, do you? Yeah, we went to high school together. No, college. Yeah, that's what I meant.
But the bottom line is that, you know, I'm anxious to, and get this. This is incredible. My wife has a meeting. She watches Riley on Thursday. So guess who the Bulldog is going to have as his date to the 5 to 7 party? None other than my granddaughter, Riley, who will be in my arms during the entire party as my date, my granddaughter. And you know what I thought to myself? It's a good thing that I'm happily married, TC, because if there's two things that would get women going, is a dog in the park or holding a cute little baby in your arms. Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? When they see a cute baby.
I'm going to hear that over and over and over because Riley is so cute.
But when they see a cute baby, they know there's a mother attached somewhere.
That's right. Well, my date, how cool is that?
Very cool.
My granddaughter's first social outing official is with her grandpa at the open house. So I will have Riley with me. So if you show up to box me, Glenn, I can't unless somebody can hold Riley.
Shannon can hold Riley.
I want to do a rest in peace to a very wonderful, sweet person. Her name is Geneva Madonna. She was nicknamed Granny. You got to be special because I had a Granny, my grandma Krippenstapel. She worked at our Wendy's restaurant forever, and she was in great health until a ER doctor screwed up, and I'm representing her in this case. But after many years of some suffering that she shouldn't have endured, she passed away, and her funeral and visitation is Friday. But what a great woman Geneva Madonna was, and I am going to give her a posthumous oracle status. Great, great family. Let me see what else. Theodore Roosevelt, CEO, I've been mentioning this. And I'm telling you right now, this is such good stuff. His leadership principles, embrace a stronger work ethic. In a letter from Roosevelt's sister, Corinne, to his brother Elliot, he goes, I fear he sleeps little. I like that. Fears he sleeps little. This is from Theodore Roosevelt. Do you believe Glenn Beck doesn't like this guy? The worst lesson that can be taught to a man is to rely upon others and to whine over his sufferings. I'm going to read that again. The worst lesson that can be taught to a man is to rely upon others. Stop relying upon me, TC.
All right.
And to whine over his sufferings.
It's so hot.
So, do John Travolta again.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
love that.
I gotta pay how much? Oh my God! Oh my God! I gotta make Pulp Fiction 75. Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's why we're going national. My superbity and his antics. It is both foolish and wicked to teach the average man. Oh, by the way, this national syndicator's been listening to us.
Oh yeah,
loves it.
Good morning, there, national syndicator. How are you? Come by for a cup of coffee.
It is both foolish and wicked to teach the average man who is not well off that some wrong or injustice has been done him, and that he should hope for redress elsewhere than his own industry, honesty, and intelligence. Boom!
Well,
More. All men who feel any power of joy in battle know what it is like when the wolf rises in the heart. Whoa! By the way, I think that's what happened to Officer Cyranek. The wolf rose in his heart. Pow, pow. God love Devon. Let me see what else I got here. I wish to preach not the doctrine of ignoble ease, but the doctrine of the strenuous life.
Whatever that means.
It's called working hard. This is dare. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure. Okay, so my restaurant's failed. So I've been fired before. Then to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows not victory or defeat. I love this. When he was asked to be vice president, he says, I am as strong as a bull moose. He later named his party Bull Moose. And you can use me to the limit. God, I love this guy.
Is Newt going to get back in the race, you think?
Well, I just want you to know that if Mitt Romney does not text Newt that he'll give him a speech at the convention, I understand Newt Gingrich is going to unsuspend his campaign.
I dare him.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if all those that suspended their campaigns would suddenly unsuspend them, and all of a sudden we had Herman Cain back and Michelle Bachmann back and everybody just came back
right at the end of June. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it? That would be great. Mitt Romney would throw a fit.
Mitt Romney would throw a fit.
I think maybe that could happen.
I think
maybe that's why they suspend their campaigns.
I think Mitt is getting his legs under him. His speeches have been crisp and strong. Yesterday he had the USDebtClock.org on the debt. He was using that as a stage prop.
Oh, was he?
You know, everywhere I would go, I would have an electronic board of US Debt Clock back me when I was Mitt Romney.
Well,
Glenn didn't like the fact that I think Valerie Jarrett, Michelle Obama, and Barack Obama is the first American triumvirate in the spirit of Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus.
Well, remember way back when you first started talking about
Anthony, Augustus, and Lepidus. How many people know both triumphants? Nobody, just me.
When you first started talking about Valerie Jarrett, what did I say? How come Oprah isn't talking to him? Remember me saying that?
Yes.
Can't she say something to him? Well,
yes.
They shut her out. You know?
Shut her out.
She got blackballed.
Oprah is out. Before we wrap up this Radio Superbity show, and I want to thank John Oslika from Window World and also Brennan from coming in here. We want you to go to ride.remember. Any final words from you, TC?
Well, I went to the general store yesterday. They wouldn't let me buy anything specific.
Every dog has their day. I hope today and tomorrow is yours. We'll be back on Friday for some fun Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160. I love you all, Bulldog Nation.